All right. Welcome back to Phone, and I know you have all been waiting and waiting and waiting for me to get back into Phone and finish these missions that have been newly added and updated. We have Too Hot to Handle. We've got Abduction Part 2. We're going to be getting right into them here in a couple seconds. We'll be working on Too Hot to Handle in this video. Just to give you guys an idea of what happened, and the reason why it took me so long to get to these new missions was because for the longest time, I was not getting the updates. Every time I tried to update Peekaphone, it was not updating with the new missions. Up until now, I finally have new missions, and I had to go back through and actually replay all the missions just to get to these. And as you can see, I don't even have the last four even completed or anything, or the last three there, even though I have prior videos on them completed. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into Too Hot to Handle. All right, Too Hot to Handle. A string of arson has plagued your neighborhood. They started small, but they are growing more frequent and intense with each act. The authorities are vigilant, but your friends and your family in the community are worried. Recently, the authorities pursued the suspect fleeing the fires. They were unable to catch them, but the arsonist dropped their phone at the scene. Heart and smoke damage to the electronics make tracing or cracking it risky, so authorities must rely on the clues within the information already on the phone. You've developed a reputation for being handy in these sorts of situations, piecing together what others can't. You must figure out the true identity of the arsonist before they strike again, and who else better to handle this than the jam genius himself? Tongue-tied. Let's go. Let's get started with this mission. Let's see where we're at. Well, at least we don't have to unlock it with a passcode or anything. But I love the background. The background, nice smoky little background here. We got some messages, photos, browser, news, Interflix, Lovebook, and chat. Let's see what we need to do to actually win. Figure out the phone owner's name, first and last name of the phone owner. Let's check messages. Mom. And Mom. What's going on, Mom? Honey, please talk to me. I just want to know you are okay. You don't have to say anything else. Just text that you're okay. I don't want to bother you. I'm just so worried since you left without saying anything. I know it's hard to talk about it, but you can't keep living like this. You can't let it eat you alive. The fire was years ago and it wasn't your fault. You didn't tip the kerosene heater over on purpose. You can't live every day of your life running from something that happened so long ago. I don't want that. Your father wouldn't have wanted that. He loved you. I love you. You don't have to come home. I just want to hear from my baby boy again. So we know it's a guy. We know it's a boy. It's a male, and it seems like there was a past accident. Maybe he accidentally tipped over the kerosene. Maybe burned down their house, and the dad died in a fire. That's what it's looking like here. So he's suffering from some type of trauma from back in the day. Maybe we'll find a news article about the fire. It's gonna check phone photos. So the hint is my calling card. We don't know what that is yet. Browser offline. Let's see if there's any. Okay, abandoned houses. Cheesecake recipe. Treating burns fast. Is it bad to cover your burns? House for sale in my area. Let's see if we can get. We're offline though. We can't see house for sale. News. A recent string of destructive fires plagued the greater Belton County area. The fires occurred suddenly, and the destruction was so extensive the local fire marshals suspected arson long before they found the evidence of accelerants. Interflix. Ooh, we got some Interflix here. What is this? Spanish Junk Boy. Can we actually see these? No internet. So Spanish Junk Boy, Season 1. Koala Seeger, Perfect Launch, Street Dust, Weird Effects, Beyond Wife Swap. So this swapping pets. Selfie Truckers, Violent Subjects, Returning to the Scene. Ooh. Is there anything in these? Or was that Returning to the Scene? No. I don't know if there's anything in here. Mai Tai Grizzly. So in my list, we have Blood and Water, 100 Hours of Counting, Violence and Money Diabolic Duos. Visually striking, witty comedies. 12 Reasons I Hate You. 12 Reasons Why I Hate You. Bite-sized report. Dory in the House. Nothing that one last 365-day trip. Nothing that I can really see. Favorite book. And then chat. No chats. I'm not seeing anything about a book. Or a calling card. I think maybe something to do with a calling card or a book. Maybe kerosene? Maybe kerosene's the calling card? I don't know. Oh, kerosene. Kerosene was the calling card. And the only reason I figured that out is because there was so much talk about kerosene. Where to buy kerosene, how to use kerosene, yada yada kerosene. So kerosene was the calling card. So he uses kerosene for just about everything. We have new chats going on as well. Hey, it's Cassie. You're still interested in my edition of Dante's Inferno, right? Haven't heard back since you called me, but you sounded so excited. So Dante's Inferno is going to be the book. I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet that Dante's Inferno is the book. How do we spell that? How do we do this? Dante's Inferno. Okay, that didn't work. Dante's Inferno did not work. I spelled Dante's wrong, that's why. Let's try it again. Okay. That was without a space. Let's try Dante's Inferno with a space. Did not work. So I wonder if it's just Inferno. Like Dante's Inferno. Dante is the actual book is Inferno, maybe? Let's try that. Inferno. Oh my god, I can't believe it. So Dante's Inferno. I thought Dante's Inferno was the book. It's actually just Inferno. So those who are watching this and looking for the actual title of his favorite book, it's actually just called Inferno. Because it's Dante's Inferno, not Inferno. Like I even wrote Cassie back. I was like, which book is it? Cruise or Cuz. Hey, sorry. I know this is out of left field, but I sprained my knee or I sprained my ankle, and I have to keep off of it for at least 2 weeks. You and I have the same taste in shows. Would you mind recommending something for me? I'm bored to death, stuck on my couch. We have the same interest in shows, so we need to remind or give something to him. So, like, maybe Blood and Water. We did get internet access, I thought. Did we? No. Anyways, Love Book. No internet. Match Finder. Oh, messages. We have some messages. So let's write back cuz. Let's say Blood and Water. That's part of our list. See what he says back. Thank you. Took long enough, man. I haven't seen that yet, but it looks great. I could count on you. I knew I could count on you. Oh, especially after we talked at the reunion, your taste and mine were almost identical. Still typing. Too bad we didn't manage to get a picture together. I know my mom's been sending everyone labeled photos from the event, and you're not in them. So we're not in any of those photos. That's going to make it a little bit more difficult to figure out what our name is if we're not in any of those photos. Let's go to, not chat, let's go to Love Book and go to Match Finder. We have Tanya, Rachel, and Betty. Hey, buddy, what's the big idea? What are you talking about? The pictures you're using are of my brother, and his name certainly isn't Chevy. And I already talked to him, so I know it isn't on here with a fake name, so don't try any of that. Sorry, I don't have a lot of confidence, so I used your brother's pictures. Oh, so we're using somebody else's pictures to go through Love Book. Interesting. Is anything about your profile real? My age and details are real. I made my name with my real initials too. So our name has got the initials, but I don't know what our name is. Listen, I get it, but lying isn't going to fix your confidence or communication problems. You are just starting off on a bad foot, you know. Please take my brother's pictures down. Okay. So we don't have any information here, though. Hey, your profile sounds wild. I bet you're a really interesting person. Thank you. Maybe we could meet up for coffee sometimes, talk a little. That would be nice, but I don't know if I'm ready for something like that. Are you shy? Kind of. I'm sort of just looking for people to talk to. I'm fine with that, but I connect best in person, so I'd like to meet up eventually. Betty. Ooh, talked a bit with Betty. Okay. I don't mind talking to people about their problems. We all have them. I'd like to help if I can. What are you struggling with? I have poor impulse control. That's a really common obstacle. I think I have bad control of some things too. My impulses are more destructive than most people's. Self-destruction is also a lot more common than people think. What sort of impulses do you struggle with? If you don't mind me asking, I'd rather not say. I'm too ashamed of the damage I've caused. There's nothing to be ashamed of. It seems like you're on here to find support, but people can't support you if they don't know what you're going on or what's going on. I've hurt people, okay? That's all I want to say. Okay, well, if your impulses are that damaging, then you might want to consider looking for professional help. I don't know if people on a dating app can give you what you need. Still doesn't give us any information about us other than we knew that we had impulse issues. Like, yeah, we knew that. So we are not a part of any of these pictures. But how do we figure out? See, that's the thing. Like, we're not part of any of those pictures. We don't know what our initials is. We need to figure out how to get our internet back. The only other thing that I think we can do is go down the list of seeing who's on here and who's not on the guest list, the family reunion guest list, and figuring out who isn't in there. So we know we're a guy, so we can start looking through. Oh, wait a second. I just thought of something. So we're not Chevy, but we started, our first and last name started with the same, or not with the same initials, but our first and last name was an initial. So our first name starts with a C because we use that as our initials. I made my name with the real initials too, I guess. Age and details. We don't know what our age and details are, but we know the first name starts with. So our first name is something to do with a C. So if we look at our photos, there's a lot of fucking C's. There's a Carlos, there's a Chance, there's a Colt, Clifford, Charlie, Cole. Oh my goodness. So there's a Caleb, Cooper, Clarence. There's so many C's. So many C's. All right, let's go. Let's figure this out. There's Chet, Cooper, Charlie, Clarence. Nothing there. Charlie and Chance. Here's a lot of them. Clifford, okay. Connor, Cole, Cooper, Clarence, Cameron, Clint, Callie, Chance. Okay. That's Charlie again. Well, here's a bunch. Cameron, Charlie, Clint, Cooper, Connor, Cole, Clifford. Okay. Let's look at this list again. Any names that we haven't seen? We've seen Clarence. Have we seen Caleb? I feel like we haven't seen Caleb. We haven't seen a Chris yet either, or a Cody. Chris, Cody, Caleb. Seen Chance. I don't know if we've seen a Colt. I can't remember. We've definitely seen Clifford. It's definitely seen a Charlie. Don't know if we've seen a Crew. Maybe the X and the U's are like whether they, maybe that's a check mark. Nah, it's definitely a U. Maybe it's whether they showed up or not. So Caleb might not even shown up. Because we remember seeing Chance, so maybe those U's are like that they showed up. And the X's that are that they didn't show up. I think that's what it is. So, don't need to worry about Colt. Clifford we saw. Saw Charlie. Cole. Did we see Cole? Keep Cole in mind. Cooper. I think we saw Cooper. I'm pretty sure we saw Clarence. Pretty sure we saw Chet and a Clint. I don't know if we've seen a Carl. We've seen a Connor and a Cameron. So think of, just trying to remember, Cameron, Carl, and maybe Cole. Let's look at this picture here again. Connor, Clarence, a little blurry for some reason. Clint's there. No Cole. Oh, there is a Cole. Okay, so there is a Cole. Don't have to worry about Cole. But what about Chris and Clint? We need to find Chris and Clint, I think. I don't remember ever seeing a Chris, that's for sure. There is a Clint, so I'm starting to think maybe it's a Chris. We need to see if we can find a Chris anywhere. Clifford, Connor, Charlie, Cole, Clint, no Chris. I think it's Chris. I'm starting to think I think it's Chris. I think we know who it is. I think we know. I think it's Chris Carson. Let's try it. Let's try Chris Carson. Last name is correct, not the first name. So it's not Chris. Apparently there's a Chris somewhere in there. Shoot. Oh, Chris Carson didn't even show up. What the hell? Carl. That's the one that we were looking at. Carl. I don't think Carl Carson. Carl Carson. Carl. Let's try it. Oh, shoot. I hope this is it. Jam geniuses. Oh, geez. We found him. It was Carl Carson all along. And there you guys have it. That was Too Hot to Handle. Hope you guys are enjoying Peekaphone. We are going to be getting into Abduction Part 2 in the next video. I know you guys have been really interested in Abduction. You guys are having a lot of troubles with the Abduction. I'm getting a lot of comments about Abduction Part 2. You guys are having a lot of issues with it. But this was Too Hot to Handle. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Hit that like button. Leave me a comment down below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and join the Tethered. As always, thanks for watching. Love you all, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.